Hello. Whoops! I forgot about my microphone. Anyway, good afternoon, good evening. It's Leanne Peters here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook, and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here to create a space of healing and support that hopefully resonates and supports you at this time. So I'm coming to you live from Tasmania, Australia, where it is Sunday the 18th, or the 19th. Maybe it's the 19th today. Sunday the 19th, yes, of November at 7:17 p.m. Oh, that means it was a whole week since my grandmother passed away, because we found her at 7:30. And I don't know how long she'd passed away for. So that's interesting. I didn't realise till just now that this time last week my grandmother passed away. So very interesting. So I'm here anyway to create a space of support. And I want to send out a big extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light members, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. So I'm here to create this healing space. How I'm going to do that is I'm going to use or work with my healing energy cards. I'm going to pull a healing energy card in just a moment, and that will basically guide the direction of our support and healing time today. And then I'm going to play my quartz singing bowl to support that energy or whatever we need to do. And then I'll pull a card to go. So I'll be here for about 15-20 minutes or so. So let's get straight into it. I also just want to say that I recommend that you take on board what feels right and what resonates with you at this time, and let the rest go. And let's see what happens. Hello, Aletha, welcome. And welcome everybody who's connecting. So our card that's going to guide our healing and support journey today is this. It's Healing Energy card. I've got two decks combined here. The first deck in pink, and this is my second upgraded deck, which is my newest deck that came out this year. And I've pulled one of those cards. So Healing Energy cards too. Thank you. And it's this. And this is perfect. I mean, I couldn't have picked a more perfect card if I didn't go in and look for a card myself. This is card 75, New Beginnings. It's in the action category here. So it talks about action and forward movement, moving forward in our life and on our path. Down here it says, walk forward, courage, fullness, ripe, fertility, creativity, birth, a bright future ahead, the unknown and uncertainty, prepare, ready, take action, and move. So when I drew this illustration, I could feel, if this was us, this is me for me, this is you for you, this is us if we're open to it, this body, this figure. It represents us moving forward into something new that calls us. It's like a light that calls us, it's summoning us, it's enticing us forward. We're moving forward, always, unless we're stuck for some reason. But we're moving forward here. The energy here at the back of the body, which represents the past, I saw this as like smoke or fumes kind of energy moving off the back of the body as we move forward into the new and as we move out of the past. And as we let go of the things that are ending and closing and completing in our life, the things that we're moving on from now, we're allowing to kind of move away from us as we're moving forward towards other things now. There's probably a grief in this, because as we move out of some things and move towards other things, and as we tie up loose ends and we close doors and we complete things, There is a grief that can be connected with that. A grief of the old and the people that we used to connect with from the past. And the life that we enjoyed, the aspects that we enjoyed of that time period as well. So as we're transitioning out of the old and into the new, it's natural to feel grief or sadness, a vulnerability and sensitivity wash over us as we let go. It's not always easy to let go. In fact, it's not really that easy to let go. Having a willingness to let go is important, and having an underlying sense of trust that this is what we need to do. It could be something that we're moving out of through choice, because the time has come for us to start a new chapter in our life. It could be something we're moving out of because we have no choice, and it's something that's happened to us or something that's happened to someone around us that, as a consequence of that situation or that occurrence, has also forced us or caused us in some ways to make changes or close some doors in our life. And they can be harder things to accept, but still both energies or elements can bring an aspect of grief or sadness as we say goodbye and we let go. So there's a strong letting go feeling, and as we let go, it feels like it sits at the back of our body, just like in this card. But I feel like it's pulling down at the back, almost like washing away from the back of us, like water off a duck's back. Like water flowing down off a duck's back, but off the back of our body, as we let go of the past and let go of the things that we're letting go of right now, the things that we're surrendering, and the things that we're saying goodbye to, or the people that we're saying goodbye to. That it is good, it is healthy, it is normal to let go. It's part of the chapters and the cycles that we move through in life. It's part of life itself. It's part of the rhythm of life. We've let go before many, many times, and we'll let go again in the future. But what are we focusing on now in our life that we're having to say goodbye to? So as we say goodbye and we grieve or we feel the sadness that arises from that, we also are enticed into the new beginnings. And for some of us, we might be feeling quite pregnant or full, like we're about to pop out a baby. I mean, this is a very advanced pregnancy, let's say, in this image here. So this symbolises us, maybe you, and the majority of us, birthing new things in our life now. And maybe we've already started birthing these things, and if we haven't already, then they must be very, very close, because this is so full. I mean, this baby's about to pop. This tummy's about to pop, and a baby is about to come out, which is, again, that representation of something new that we are birthing in our life. Could be a new project, a new chapter, a new phase. There might be big changes that are taking place, and in fact, for many of us, there are big changes and a big intensity of energy right now as we transition out of one place and into another, as we allow a part of ourselves to die and surrender, as we allow new things to birth forward. And we might not know, some of us may not know what these new things are that we're birthing yet. We may have a bunch of things coming to an end, a bunch of doors that we're closing, a bunch of people we're saying goodbye to. Yet we may not know what's before us. There may be the big, dark, wide unknown right in front of us, not far away, that we may feel scared to step into because it's new territory, it's chaos, it's the unknown, it's uncertainty. There's something not familiar, it's out of our comfort zone, about wherever it is that we're going. But there is also something higher or deeper, and perhaps both, that pulls us forward. And it's, in some ways, for some of us, it's instinctual, like in our intuition. But instinctually, we know we need to go that way. we might not know why yet. So there's something exciting and curious and mysterious and enticing about this unknown that calls us just over there, just ahead on our path. So new beginnings are abundant at this time. Are you willingly walking forward, or are you keeping yourself stuck because you don't want things to change when things perhaps are naturally changing? If you're resisting, or you're trying to swim against the stream and against the flow of your life, you may feel quite scared about the uncertainty of where it is that you're going. You might feel quite resistant, and you might feel a lot of grief, and you might feel very stuck. So let's remember that the energy always wants to move forward. Things are always moving in cycles. Our emotions want to be in motion. So it's kind of unnatural in some ways. It's against the grain of life to be stuck and stagnant. And it's not saying, I'm not saying that we don't feel it, because we do. But often we're the ones that stick and make stuck ourselves, because we might not be willing to change, or willing to move, or willing to move forward, or willing to let go, or willing to say goodbye, or willing to say hello to something new, or new people and new experiences. So if you're feeling stuck, maybe this is an opportunity to release that. If you're letting go of things and you're closing doors, then maybe it's a good time now to say goodbye to that. If you're stepping into new things, then maybe it's a good time to say hello to the new that's birthing now, whether it's manifest quite yet or not. It's here. So that's the energy that's around at this time. And I'm going to play the singing bowl now to support this energy. So if you're new to listening to the bowl, please know that there's nothing you can do wrong. Just listen and allow the sound of the bowl to support you, to especially support you with what you need in regards to perhaps what I've been talking about. Or maybe there's something more pressing that you need that's more important. Maybe you need some strength right now, or some healing. Maybe you need some downtime, some recharge, some upliftment. So if there's something else you need, please request that, or hold that in your heart, that this is what I would like to receive, and let yourself receive it. So take some big deep breaths and enjoy the sound of the singing bowl. Okay, so take another nice big breath. There feels to be, like over the last couple of days, I've noticed this like hecticness. There's lots of stuff going on. There's an intensity that's very strongly playing out for a lot of us. Yet there seems to be, what I've been feeling is this, I don't know if it's a need or an urge or something that feels like it wants to slow things down. Like, even though things are moving fast, and sometimes things move hectically fast, and we're moving hectically fast, and our mind's moving hectically fast, and there's a lot of stuff that we've got to deal with, and there's still a lot of stuff to deal with, but there is something like almost that we've, I don't know if it's quite put the brakes on, but there's almost like we're slowing down, or the vehicle might be moving fast, but we've kicked back a gear somehow, that we're still going down the same track. There's still this intensity and there's still a lot to do, but we're sort of easing back just this little bit. Maybe it's like, maybe it's a bit like if a river was moving fast, a stream or a river, and we were swimming with the river, and things are going fast and we're moving fast, but there's this feeling that, not that we've stopped swimming, but maybe we're floating a little bit more and letting the river, the hecticness, the river speed hasn't changed. But somehow maybe we've surrendered to it a little bit more, or we're sort of settling into it a little bit more. Maybe we're resisting it a little less, and we're moving with it, but there's almost like we're sitting back just a little bit. And it doesn't feel like a hesitation. It feels more like a floating with the stream, or we kicked the vehicle back a gear, or we've kicked the vehicle out of gear and we're just letting the vehicle roll down the hill while we just kind of settle into it. I'm not really sure if I can describe it any better than that, and I don't think I've quite hit the nail on the head with what I feel here, but there does feel to be something that's sort of just sitting back at the moment, like taking our time, like breathing and not running so fast. So anyway, thank you for joining me. I'm going to pull a card to go. This was our card I pulled if you've just joined in. It's New Beginnings, and probably quite appropriate. It's quite appropriate for a lot of us, I'm sure, but maybe also for you. So I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you have enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment. Please share if you're inspired to. And if you'd prefer to connect more privately, please send us a message through our website. If you'd like to start working with my Healing Energy Cards, Deck 1, which has just been upgraded. Oh, jeepers, there's a bunch of ones there together. They gravitate together. Or Healing Energy Cards Deck 2 that you can work with together with these, the first deck. You can combine them like this, or you can work with them separately. You can learn more about these on my website. They're great tools to support your healing and your journey in life. I released the first deck in 2008, so it's my most popular deck. This is its 4th print run, which is certainly our best-selling deck at this time. So that's that. If you'd like to learn more about me, and if you'd like to support my work at Temple of Balance, please visit templeofbalance.com.au. I've just released some new ceramics, some new jars, and a cup, and custom orders that I'm now willing and open to taking. That will be on my ceramics website, which is leannepeters.com. So if you'd like to learn more about those, and I'm also opening my studio this weekend, the 25th and the 26th of November. I'll be creating, and I thought I'll open the studio if anyone wants to come and visit. So if you're in Tasmania, you're very welcome to call in and visit between 10 and 4 p.m. on the weekend. But you can learn more about that too on my ceramics website, leannepeters.com. And that's in Tasmania, by the way. So let's grab a card to go. I'm looking for the best card that the majority of us need for what's next. What's next as we turn this video off, and especially relating to what I've already been talking about. It's going to be related. It's not going to be anything different. It's going to relate somehow. So when we turn this off and we go back into our life and do our life things, what might it be good for us to think about moving forward so that we can anchor this change or anchor this support that we might and hopefully are feeling at this time? So the best card for what's next for the majority of us is this. It's from the second deck, and it's this Raw Emotion card 96. It's in the depth category. So the depth category takes us deeper into ourselves so we can understand and find perhaps more meaning or purpose, or understand what's taking place or who we are at a deeper level. And raw emotion, I mean, this brings an intensity of emotion, which I'm sure a lot of us have been feeling in this last week or so. It says new hope entering after a period of sadness, loss or disappointment. A broken heart, grief, everything will work out, and we can trust in the bigger picture. So this is quite appropriate. Hope coming in after a period of sadness, loss or disappointment. So let's stay hopeful. This is what this sort of yellow light is up here. This is hope coming in during or after a period of grief or sadness or loss or disappointment, where something's happened that's kind of taken us by surprise and it's rattled us and shaken us. And perhaps there's a big wash of emotion that's taking place as well, because this is raw emotion. So let's not allow the raw emotion to consume us for, I want to say days and days, because for me, if it's 3 days, that's too long for me. But I understand that that's very short for a lot of people. And some people are saying, I've been feeling that for, well, hopefully not years, but I've been feeling that for weeks or months, which is way too long for me. If I'm feeling this for 3 days, by the end of the 3rd day, I need to pull my socks up and find a way through it. So that's been my motto for several decades, and it works for me. So if you've been feeling heavy with emotion for longer than 3 days, if that's appropriate for you, maybe it's time to start shifting things, shift our perspective, look at things differently, look at the situation from a different perspective, and maybe reassure ourselves of some hope. Maybe setting ourselves a new goal or a new project or a new something that we can start moving towards, and help allow that to help entice us out of that raw, heavy emotional state or dark, stagnant state. It's the same sort of thing. So maybe there's something we can do, actively do, or change to give ourselves hope. If we're waiting for hope to drop from the sky, it's probably not going to happen. So the best way we're going to find hope is to what am I looking for here? Is to, I want to say like find it ourselves, but it's not necessarily that simple. It feels like almost like all the curtains in the room have been shut. These heavy drapes closed, and we're feeling sad, dark and raw and grief and sadness or whatever, stuck, whatever it is that we feel. And I feel this hope like we get up and proactively help ourselves, even if it's just one little step, one little thing, getting up today. Let's have a tidy up today. Let's cook ourselves a nice meal today. Just something to just get us up. And by doing that, it's like we pull open these drapes or these curtains and we let some light in. And that light is like hope. It's like, and with hope comes meaning and comes the glimpses of purpose and something to live for. So if you want something to live for, be careful that you're not waiting for someone else or something to drop out of the sky that gives you the hope that you need. If you need hope, if you need a purpose, if you need a reason to be alive today, then step up from your dark place. Find a little bit of strength to get over to maybe visualizing a window that's closed, that's blocked out. And visualize yourself opening this curtain and letting a little bit of light and a bit of life and a bit of hope in Doesn't have to be anything huge. It can be just something small, something that gives you just a bit of a spark again, that it reignites you somehow. And that hope is a gift, and it's probably a huge gift that we could give ourselves right now. Because in some ways it's easy to hide out in the dark room, in the dark place within ourselves, sad and lost and distraught and stuck and disappointed and feeling lost. And yes, if it's something brand new, then we might have all reason to feel that way. But like I say, I don't know if it resonates with you, but 3 days, I'm done. Even grief, 3 days, I'm done, unless it's something more major. But I need to cast myself some lifeline. I need to find something to live for, something small, something doable, something real for me. So maybe that's something for some of us to think about as we move forward from here. That yes, we feel grief, yes, we feel intense emotion. Yes, we might feel like we're in a dark place and we don't know how to get out. But hopefully something's been sparked in this connection today that's supported you and given you some strength and maybe a perspective to walk over to that window or walk over to the door and let yourself out of the room that you've been trapped in. And when you go out there, it might feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you've been trapped away for a while. But out there is life. And it's up to us to go and find it. No one else is going to find it for us or bring it to us. It's not going to fall out of the sky. So let's trust in the bigger picture and let's trust in our ability to help ourselves. So hopefully something's helped you here. If you have been feeling that way, maybe see if you can find something to do, some goal to set yourself, and maybe just something small to begin with, depending on what you're feeling. As just a way to bring you out of that shell and out of that dark place. So, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. I'll be back tomorrow with some cards for Monday and Tuesday. So, I'll see you then, probably. Take care, and thanks for watching today. Bye.